Oh man. Oh, the folks are gonna be in for a treat for this stream. Just it's gonna be a tasty one. I don't know about you, Zach. Oh, well, folks, we're about to get started in just a few moments. I hope you guys are wearing boots and are finding yourself a calm jacket to noodle up to. Um, we will see you shortly. Well, hello.
Hi. Hey.
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 We hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing real spicy.
Yeah. We we ate some really good tacos. I hope you guys ate some good tacos too.
Uh, we we ate spicy food and sweated, like had a good sweat.
Yeah.
I guess that's the American version of a sweat lodge.
We had tacos and spicy chicken sandwiches. It was really good.
It was quite the melting pot
Yeah.
of the American experience.
I mean, I we solved racism.
Oh, I mean, and that was before we even got the show started, folks.
What? This is a show?
I think it's time we get down.
Are we going into the void?
Oh, I think we are going to shout into the void, ladies and gentlemen. Let us go downtown. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Wow. I'm glad we could all be here tonight. Glad that we all could step outside of our comfort zone and pay attention to something that was not us. Because I think we all need a time to really look outside of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? 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 I'm talking about guilty pleasures. Yeah. Why don't you have guilty pleasures in your daily life? And I'm talking like not Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, of Orlando, Real Housewives of New Vermont, Real Housewives. I'm not talking about The Bachelor. I'm not talking about Biggest Loser or Survivor. I'm not talking about those types of guilty pleasures because it's easy to watch something and have a guilty pleasure. But it's a different thing to create your own guilty pleasure. I'm talking about grilled cheese sandwiches. I mean it. I mean it. You see a grilled cheese sandwich on the street, you're gonna eat it. You see a grilled cheese sandwich from a stranger, you're gonna eat it. Okay, that should have been the first stranger danger, not an ice cream van. No, with strangers often offering grilled cheese sandwiches. Why didn't I get warned, Mama? Unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way. I accepted a grilled cheese sandwich from an old man, and I'm talking not just 45, not old compared to children. I'm talking old. A scarce old man in the desert. He offered me a grilled cheese sandwich, and why did I say yes? Why? Because he seemed on my level? Because he seemed part of the adventure that is my life? It was then and only then that I finished that grilled cheese sandwich faster than I could think. Hardly savoring each bite. So melted, so greasy, so bred. The butter, the mayonnaise that you assume has been, fried onto the butter. Listen, folks, I'm saying I want you to come on board the spaceship cheese. No. Does this make sense? No. I think we need to back up and just say I'm happy to be fed. I'm happy to have the opportunities should I choose to enforce them. To have a grilled cheese sandwich, to have a good time with people who you think are going to care for you. Yeah. I'm looking at you, empty Sunday brunch picnics. Tired of being invited only just as a friend of a friend, and you're not actually receiving a direct invite? No. Invite me for me, okay? And even if it's just a half-assed invite because you are in the community, but you're not necessarily in the party. But if you don't get invited and you show up to a Sunday brunch that you weren't supposed to be at, well, you might as well just be building Legos all by yourself. I cooked spaghetti once, and not only was I offended how simple it was and how easy down the drain the water goes, but no one ever told me that you don't have to throw things against the wall. You don't have to throw pasta up against the wall. Sometimes you can just trust your gut. Sometimes you don't even have to try throwing it against the wall. You can just say, I trust I've done a good job and I'm calling it. And I name this dish Kentucky. All right, folks, I hope we had a guilty pleasure here tonight. I know I did. And I think Zach might have a really good guilty pleasure, or maybe even just a little pleasure for you. Folks, this is going to be a really good one. This is a good show.
I'm picking up those vibes, and I'm ruining these headphones. Hello! We did that the wrong way. Absolutely. Cool. Headphones offline for just a second. That's okay. We're making do. We're making babies. That's that doesn't mean anything. You should ignore the fact that I just said that. Don't worry about it at all. We will be there soon. We will be there, and this amusement park is going to be great. It's going to be just delightful. I feel like I should be hearing music. Hey, cool. Chill. So I have a guilty pleasure. Garrett brought that up. I've been testing my dog's DNA, y'all. That's great. We have a dog. He's a street dog. Has kind of a little, I don't know what you'd call it, like a bleb. He has a little bleb where his nuts used to be. It's like, you know, when you straighten out your elbow, that thing. He has that where his testicles used to be, but it's black. It's black. Not a race thing, but it is colored black. Leads me to believe that it is healthy. He's got that. He's got no teeth, because when we got him, they tried to clean his teeth, and then they all promptly fell out of his head. So, batting 1,000, my dog Bruno. But you know, we saw him, and the pound told us that he was a Yorkie. Then again, they told us he was 4 years old, and he's definitely 8. But we saw this hot street mutt, and we said, there's no way he's just a Yorkie. He's got to have some Australian Terrier, some Silky Terrier, maybe some long hair terrier or Wheaton in there. There's some other type of terrier getting frisky with my dingo. And that's okay. I'm not here to judge, you know. I'm in an interracial marriage, you know. So I can't really hate. So we send it away to 23andMe, which is the place that does the dog DNA testing. Comes back, he's 100% Yorkie. Cool, whatevs. He looks a little bit edgier than that. He's kind of like the Eminem of Yorkies, where it's like, oh, technically you're white, but you can say the N-word. It's fine. You know, it is what it is. What's bothering me is that they continuously harass me. They continuously send me emails asking if I have specials that I can avail myself of. Like, I'm suddenly going to need a different dog's DNA. Like, you guys got all the dog DNA that I have to give. The store is closed, okay? Stop begging me for Bruno's cheek swabs. What is your problem, these maniacs? I mean, jeez. I got a bone to pick in general with all these, you know, 23andMe chromosome testing places, because it's just based off the information that they have from users that have already taken it. You know? That means that the first fucking guy that ever did it, his results came back and he was like, oh, it says I'm 100% Larry. You know? And then like a second guy took it and he was like, oh, it says I'm 50% Jeff and 50% Larry. You know, what does it fucking mean? And it's just tumbled down to the point where now people are like, oh, I'm 99% East Asian and 1% Larry. You know? And I gotta say, the sudden popularity of the DNA test, like how it's become such a chic thing, it just feels like white people wanting to find an excuse to say the N-word. I've known white people for a long time, and for a good while, rap lyrics were reason enough for people to be dropping N-bombs, like, oh, I'm just saying the things that Eminem says, you know, I'm just quoting Pac. What's the big deal? It's not cool. It's not fucking cool. It just feels like these guys want to be like, yeah, I'm 99% Norwegian, 1% Ethiopian. What's up on this? I don't say the actual word. I refuse to say the actual word. I think it is an act of violence. And I think that 23andMe should be prosecuted for perpetrating violence because they are enabling white people to say the N-word. They don't know it. They don't know. Or maybe they do. Maybe that's the whole reason they started this business. Maybe that's the whole reason Larry got his DNA tested in the first place. He was first in line because he was like, as soon as I find out I got a little Cameroonian in me, those N-bombs are gonna fly. Just you wait. I'm gonna make Snoop Dogg look like Martha Stewart. Which is kind of crazy they got a show together. I mean, can she say the N-word? Is she? Is she the Eminem of white people? No, Eminem is the Eminem of white people. He got his 23andMe back, and it said, you can say the N-word, dude. It's cool. It's cool. But I don't know. All this talk of people wanting to be offensive, wanting to mar their relationships with their fellow man. I mean, it just makes me wonder what a deep and profound individual like Garrett Mendez might have to say about something like that, you know? I want to pick Garrett's brain a little bit on the race issue, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Let's go there. Let's get deep.
Yeah, that's right. I think we need to get there. I think we've been focusing too much on whether or not you feel comfortable, you know, but maybe we need to jump into the uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, when have you stood up for another person? Honestly, ask yourself that. Have you ever stood up for another person? I know I stood up for the fat kid once. And you know where it got me? It got me beat up by that same fat kid later. In another grade. Like in a later grade. The fat kid came back and did not remember. He did not remember. Instead, he was focusing on his own, popularity climb. Isn't that crazy? Who cares who you used to be? I'm doing my own popularity climb, so get out of the way. Get out of the way. I'm trying to become popular. I will not be silenced. That's right. I'm trying to climb the walls of popularity, and I will not be obstacleized. You will not stand in my way, and I will step on you if you try and stop me from becoming unpopular. Man, how much time and energy did I watch some people spend on trying to become popular? I mean, I spent time and maybe even a little money, but and when I say money, I mean, Mom, Dad, I need to buy Volcom t-shirts and Etnies shoes and Billabong shorts. I bought into it. I fell into the pit of consumerism that they wanted me to be. They wanted to dictate how I dress, how I act, how I surf, how I skate. Surf, skate, ski. I never skied. That's because I know I have a vagina. And that is fine. I snowboard with peas. Did I say that wrong? Sorry. I don't ski with peas. Gaha. Gaha. You know, I made a pep rally for you. Hear it. So instead, I went down to the basement, I turned on the car, and I closed the garage door and let the smoke come over me. If I were that type of person, but I'm not, instead, do you remember I threw a pep rally for you? And what did you do? You didn't want any of the food I made. You just wanted Arby's and other various barbecue sauce related items. You just wanted barbecue sauce. That's not a personality trait, okay? Listen to me. And listen, I really mean it. Barbecue sauce is not a personality trait. We might come back to that. I'm just saying that, have you ever met those people that make one thing their entire personality trait? You know, it's kind of like when you go to a you know what? The perfect example is that if you ever go to a birthday party and all the gifts are centered just around one thing and one thing only, and that is, you know, like, oh, this guy loves whales, you know, so then everything is like a whale gift, and I got whale stickers and whale pajamas. Well, imagine being that person's other person, you know what I mean? You know, their spouse, their significant other. And imagine having to put up with that. Imagine having to go to the shower and then coming out of the shower and then all the towels are whales. Anyways, I really like hotels. Having a different place. Maybe that's, you know, because everyone, okay, so don't pretend like liking traveling is like a uniquely you thing. Like, guess what? A lot of people like seeing new shit that we don't like have. Like, why do you think when people find out about like a new website, they're like, oh, this is cool. This is real cool. I like it. You know, like imagine finding the new QAnon, the R-anon, you know, and you're so elated. You're so happy. Imagine being so happy you found conspiracy. Like, imagine you're sitting there just cooking up your beans and you're just like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? Oh my God, what's going on in the world? Nancy Pelosi, stop calling me. Oh my God. Like, I mean, and you're just like putting guns on windowsills, like trying to catch them like leprechauns, but you're trying to catch liberals, like trying to take your gun like that. Like, what are you doing? What do you at night dreaming ideal situation? And without saying another Trump presidency, like what were you saying into that? What were you saying was your dream? Your dream. And I'm assuming a lot of people are going to chime in right now and say, bro, I hope you're right. Hope we all believed in Bro Obama and have become disappointed with how aggressive America has become. Like, top of quarantine or at the top of 2010, everyone watched the same video where everyone has to be an alpha. Everyone has to, no one can be a beta. If you're a beta, you're going to die in this country. Like, if somebody, like, just put me in the beta pie. I'm not going to compete with, Brosario Dawson's coming out of Yale and Harvard. Okay. Like, if you want to be that, then compete. You compete. I'll sit back and I'll enjoy commenting. Speaking of commenting, I hope Zach Hillman has a unique commentary on maybe just how aggressive we have become. Maybe he can speak to us about the Agro Society. Agro. Yeah. Agro.
Well, I do have something to say about one aggressive situation that I lived through. And no, I'm not talking about that chicken sandwich, Garrett. What? It was so tasty. Ooh. Bring in a little P-Funk. G-Money. I don't know why I expected any less. I had an aggressive situation by my neighbor. Let me just start this diatribe by saying I got no problem with assholes. Assholes, I always know where you stand. I always know what you're thinking. I always know what's in your heart. It's hatred, often for other races. That's fine. I'm not the arbiter of your use of the N-word. Callback. But if there's one thing I can't stand, it's fucking nice people. Where do you get off needing to wish me a good fucking day every fucking day? Sometimes I've just got my hands full. I don't want to look up and talk to anybody, okay? Is that all right? Is that all right, Lyle? My neighbor, Lyle? My neighbor, Lyle, is a nice guy. And let me just say, as previously I stated, with an asshole, I always know where they stand. With a nice guy, I assume it's a front. I assume they are just covering up their fucking murders. You know what I mean? This guy, Lyle, he always has to be nice. He's always smooth. He's always chill. He's always like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, I'm holding a baby and a bunch of groceries. Miserable. Miserable is how it's going. You can fucking look at me and see that I'm not in a condition to chit-chat right now. Being nice is the most fucking evil thing there is. Because it's always done. It's always done with an implication of reciprocity of niceness on your part. If niceness were just done altruistically, here's a kidney, please enjoy it, that would be one thing. But there's always kind of a like, and if I ever need a gallbladder, hey, you got my number, right? It's fucking ridiculous. This guy, Lyle, he has to be liked. I don't trust anyone that has to be liked. And I don't mean, like, I don't want people to hate me, but if they don't think of me at all, that is a serious net gain for me. That is just, if I can never cross your thoughts, I have achieved my goal. And that's why comedy's working out so well for me. This guy, Lyle, he needs to be liked. He needs to be liked. So what does Lyle do? He gives every apartment. You dirty dog. You're on some where you're like, I'm going to do something really nice in the middle of the pandemic, but I'm going to sneeze all over their fucking cookies so they die? What the fuck, Lyle? What the fuck? So I go on this huge rant to my wife, and I'm like, why the fuck do they care what we think about? Why the fuck are they giving us free cookies? And why are they giving us tainted cookies? You know, on the news when people are like, oh, I never would have seen this coming. You tell me Lyle's got heads in his fucking freezer? I'd be the first one in line to be like, yeah, I called that shit years ago. He is way too obsessed with being liked. He's giving people cookies. That's the serial killers that last the longest. It's the ones who can smooth it over and be chill. Hey, how's it going? What's that baby doing in your arms, you know? So I did feel a little bad because Lyle came over the day after he gave us the fucking disease cookies. And he said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I realized that I gave you guys a box of cookies that I had already begun eating because they're my favorite cookies. And before you go into some like huge conspiracy theory, maybe the open sleeve wasn't the tainted one. He just wanted us to throw that one out and then eat the unopened cookies, which he had injected his 6-year-old son's jizz into. His 6-year-old son has herpes, I'm convinced. I just want you to know that he claims his favorite Girl Scout cookies are trefoils. Trefoils. What type of fucking monster is this guy? No thank you. Trefoils? Excuse me. No. Roundabouts. Do-si-dos. I think they're called tag-alongs now because you don't want to call them Samoas anymore. Hey, that's fine. Not my place to judge. Thin Mints. These are respectable Girl Scout cookies, right? Who picks fuckles? It's like a communion wafer really let itself go. Murderers. Fucking murderers. That's who picks trefoils. So, yeah. I mean, I haven't died yet, but if I keep putting the motherfucker on blast, I mean, my head might be in a freezer. That's all I'm saying, next to a box of unopened trefoils. Machiavellian son of a bitch. But that's my grievance. That's the animosity that I've been dealing with. And I think that Garrett may have a grievance or two of his own that he wants to air. Something that he'd care to share. Put it out in the air. Why wouldn't you dare? Do it and be fair. Gare! Gare.
A dream forgot. I hope everyone brought a pillow because we're gonna fight. Every single one of us are going to fight. Left, right, up, down. Everybody knows that I was a clown in my other life. Are you a clown in this life? Okay, jokes aside, seriously, all cadence aside, all banter, all patter, all busking. Folks. I was feeling catered to the other day. I was at a mall. You know what I mean? One of those malls, those places where stores are neatly arranged in one spot. I usually go there to laugh in their faces since I can buy it all online. You know what I mean? I just go around and I just go. I just seriously, yeah, here. Look, I walk in, I walk into the store and I just go, and I just buy it. I buy it online because I don't give an F. You know what I mean? Okay. So, all banter aside, all pandering aside, don't run for public office right now. Don't do it. Leave it to the Leave it to the career politicians. Leave it to the people who've been there this entire time. You know, I mean, I'm sure they're not sitting around waiting for us to tell them what to do. I'm sure they're figuring out a way to do the right thing. All of them. All 570 delegates. Every single one of them, you would think. But things have changed. I'm no longer a vampire. Ah, you didn't think I was gonna vampire history? Well, maybe I've got some more crazy news for you, friend. I may have never been a vampire. I may have been trying to show up at vampire and pirate parties, trying to pretend like I was a part of what do you guys call it? I don't know, the vampire's lair? What do you call a group of vampires? A bunch of Twilights? A bunch of twinks? This joke? They made this joke especially about or around Robert Pattinson. Drop me a like in the comments. Actually, don't drop me a like in the comments. Leave me a strongly worded A flat in the comments. Maybe even throw that